Dear ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when the noise around you gets so loud, you can barely hear your own soul whisper. You're scrolling, comparing, performing, and somewhere in the rush of it all, you begin to shrink. You begin to vanish behind the mask of approval. You smile on the outside, but inside, something sacred is slipping away. I came here today with one simple mission, to remind you never lose yourself. Because your calling isn't in the copy, your power isn't in the pretending, and your purpose doesn't live in people's opinions. You were handcrafted, not mass-produced. You were divinely designed, not digitally duplicated. You may have adjusted yourself to fit into rooms that never deserved your light. You may have toned yourself down to keep peace in relationships that were built on convenience instead of truth. But now is the time to come back to who you are, not who they wanted you to be. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be present. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact. When you lose yourself trying to keep others, you lose the only thing that God actually called you to steward, your soul. So reclaim your voice, rebuild your values, reconnect to your inner truth, because you are more than the version of you that settled, more than the version of you that was silent. You are still in there. And it's time to rise. 10 key points from the speech. Never lose yourself. The world is loud, but your soul speaks quietly. Listen to it. In a culture of constant stimulation and comparison, we lose track of our own inner voice. You have to slow down, block out the noise, and truly listen to what you want, who you are, and what you value, not what others have projected onto you. You were created with intention, not imitation. There's a reason you don't look like, think like, or dream like anyone else. Trying to become someone else is like asking a masterpiece to repaint itself in grayscale. Your uniqueness is your superpower. Don't trade it for social approval. Pretending to be someone else is the fastest way to forget who you are. When you spend your days performing to fit expectations, you begin to disconnect from your purpose. The more you wear a mask, the harder it is to take it off, even in front of yourself. Authenticity is hard, but it's healing. Shrinking to make others comfortable is not humility. It's self-abandonment. Humility is strength under control, not dimming your light so others won't feel insecure. You were never called to play small. Your gift is a light that deserves to shine unapologetically. People pleasing is a prison with invisible bars. Every time you betray yourself to win someone's approval, you trade freedom for false peace. At first it feels like love, but over time it feels like suffocation. Set yourself free by choosing authenticity over acceptance. You can't fulfill a divine assignment with a borrowed identity. You were uniquely equipped for your journey. That means your story, your scars, and even your setbacks are part of your purpose. You don't need to copy someone else's blueprint. You already have the blueprint inside you. Losing yourself is slow. It happens one compromise at a time. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's the little moments when you say yes, when your soul is screaming no. But each time you drift further from your center. The good news, you can always come home. You don't have to be liked to be legendary. Some of the most impactful people were misunderstood while they were alive. Don't let fear of judgment cause you to bury what was meant to be birthed. You weren't made to fit in, you were made to stand out. Healing comes from honoring your truth. When you begin to honor what you feel, what you believe, and who you really are, you start to heal, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. The world changes when you do. You were never really lost. You just stopped recognizing your reflection. The truth is, your identity is still in there, under the pain, under the pressure, under the pretending. You're not starting over. You're starting from a deeper place. And this time, you're not going back to who you were. You're stepping into who you really are. If you'd like, I can now expand each key point into full paragraphs just like the first few, or help you convert this into a video script, Urdu version, or carousel post. Would you like that? Certainly. Here's an *** expanded version *** of ***. Key point 1 *** without subtitle or conclusion. Written in the *** Stephen Furtick. Inspired style ***. deep, emotional, and thought-provoking. There is a voice inside you that doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you're not careful, the noise of the world will drown it out before you even realize it existed. It doesn't come with neon lights or a viral trend. It doesn't compete with the algorithm. It simply waits, patiently, quietly, for you to come home. You see, we live in a time where everybody's talking, but few are actually listening. To others, yes, but even worse to themselves. You wake up, and the first thing you do is scroll. Before your feet hit the ground, you've already let 1,000 other voices into your day. And they start telling you who you should be, what you should wear, what success looks like, what you're lacking, what you're late for, and how far behind you really are. It's all noise, layer upon layer of expectations dressed up as advice, and over time, without even noticing, your soul becomes a stranger in your own life. You're no longer making decisions from conviction, but from comparison. You say yes to things that drain you because you don't want to disappoint anyone. You move in directions that feel misaligned just to look like you've got it together. You silence your spirit just to make sure your timeline looks acceptable. But God didn't place His breath in you for you to spend your life living someone else's dream. He didn't wire your emotions, your creativity, your fire, for you to operate like a muted copy of the crowd. That voice inside you, it's still there. It hasn't left. It's just waiting for you to be still long enough to hear it again. When you turn down the volume of the world, you turn up the clarity of your calling. It's not that your purpose is lost, it's buried under busyness, under fear, under validation, seeking. But if you're willing to unplug, to pause, to stop performing, even for a moment, you'll hear it again. That whisper, that pull, that sacred voice that doesn't want you to be perfect. It just wants you to be present. You don't need the whole world to understand you. You just need your soul to recognize you again. Certainly, here's the expanded version of Key Point 2 written in a Stephen Furtick, inspired motivational style deeply emotional and raw, with no subtitle and no conclusion. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to just follow the mold, check the boxes, and walk the same path as everyone else. You were created not copied, formed with fingerprints of purpose, shaped with divine detail, and set apart from the beginning of time. And yet, how often do we forget that, somewhere along the way, you were taught that in order to be accepted, you have to conform. In order to succeed, you have to compare. In order to be loved, you have to be less and more them. And so you started mimicking. You started adjusting your tone, shrinking your passion, trading your fire for a version of yourself that felt more palatable to the crowd. And before long, you're no longer living, you're performing. You're no longer leading, you're copying, but imitation will always rob you of identity. It might get you attention, but it'll never give you peace, because you weren't designed to be somebody else's echo. You weren't formed to be a duplicate of someone else's calling. What lives in you was never meant to be replicated. It's one of one, unrepeatable, unmatched, unmistakable. That's why when you try to wear someone else's identity, it never fits right. It might look good from the outside, but it feels heavy on the inside. You start feeling tired, not the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but the kind that comes from pretending, from constantly shifting to meet the expectations of people who were never qualified to define you in the first place. You have a voice that the world needs, not a second-hand version, not a recycled idea. Your voice, your perspective, your scars, your strength. And when you start honoring that, when you stop apologizing for being who you are and how you were wired, something powerful happens. You begin to live with freedom, The kind of freedom that doesn't need approval because it already knows it's appointed. You were not called to compare, you were called to create, and you can't create anything worthwhile if you're too busy copying what was never meant to be yours in the first place. Absolutely. Here's a *** long form, emotionally intense expansion of key point 3 *** in the *** style inspired by Stephen Furtick *** raw, deep and honest, without any subtitle or conclusion. You don't wake up one day and realize you've lost yourself. No, it happens gradually, slowly, quietly, like water dripping on stone day after day. You start becoming someone you were never meant to be, and you don't even realize it because it's not some big dramatic shift. It's subtle. It's sneaky. It's socially acceptable. It starts with little compromises, saying yes when your heart is screaming no, laughing when you want to cry, going along to get along. You tell yourself it's just for now, just until things settle down, just until you get that promotion, just until they like you, just until you feel safe. But here's the truth. Every time you pretend, a piece of the real you fades just a little more. And then you look in the mirror one day and don't recognize the reflection staring back. You remember who you used * to be, the joy, the clarity, the conviction. But now you're just tired. Not tired in your body, tired in your * spirit *. Because it's exhausting trying to sustain a version of yourself that was built for other people's comfort, but never aligned with your calling. You're smiling, but it's forced. You're functioning, but not fulfilled. You're doing everything * right *, but it still doesn't feel * real *. That's what happens when you live disconnected from your soul, when you perform more than you pause, when you strive more than you sit with who you truly are. And what's dangerous is that people will * praise * your performance. They'll applaud your consistency. They'll post about your strength, but they don't know that underneath it all you're empty, you're drained. Because you've been showing up as a version of yourself that is polished on the outside, but crumbling on the inside. That's why pretending is not just about lying to others. It's about betraying yourself. It's about abandoning your truth to maintain an illusion. And the longer you stay in that place, the more you'll feel out of alignment, like you're succeeding on the outside, but failing on the inside. Like you're getting applause for a character you were never born to play. And the worst part, you start to think that maybe this is just who you are now, that maybe the real you is gone for good. But hear me, you were never created to pretend your way through life. You were designed to live it fully, boldly, authentically, and even if you've drifted, even if you've forgotten your own sound, that voice, the real one, the deep one, the divine one, it's still in there. Waiting to be remembered, waiting to be released, absolutely. Here's the * long form expansion of key point 4 * in a powerful, soul-stirring, Stephen Furtick-inspired style. Without a subtitle or conclusion, somewhere along the line, we confused humility with hiding. We thought being humble meant being silent. We mistook sacrifice for self-erasure, and we started calling it love, to dim our light so others could shine. But let me tell you something, they are not the same. There is a massive difference between being humble and being invisible. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself * rightly *. It's walking with strength and softness at the same time. But what many of us are doing isn't humility, it's * abandonment. We are abandoning our voice, our brilliance, our truth, just to keep peace in rooms that are built on fragile egos and unspoken tension. You've learned how to be quiet, not because you don't have something to say, but because every time you spoke up, someone rolled their eyes, dismissed your perspective, or made you feel like you were too much, so you adapted. You pulled yourself back. You shrank just enough to be tolerated, but not enough to be * truly seen. You became digestible, manageable, non-threatening, and people praised you for it, called you gracious, called you easy to work with, called you low maintenance. But inside, something was dying. You stopped dreaming big because every time you got excited, someone reminded you to be realistic. You stopped expressing your opinions because someone once told you to stay in your lane. You stopped celebrating yourself because it made others uncomfortable. And somewhere in all that suppression, you started believing that playing small was safer, that being less would keep you more loved. But here's the truth: shrinking yourself never serves the world. It never makes people love you more. It just makes you forget how to love yourself. And what you call keeping peace is often just prolonged pain. You're keeping peace on the outside, but there's a war raging on the inside, a war between who you really are and who you think they need you to be. You weren't designed to be a background character in your own story. You weren't created to live at half capacity. You weren't placed here to merely support everyone else's dreams while you bury your own under layers of guilt and fear. You can honor others and honor yourself. You can be kind and be powerful. You can be humble and still take up space. The lie that says you're only valuable when you're small needs to die, because the world doesn't need a watered-down version of you. It needs the bold, bright, fully alive version, the one who isn't afraid to speak up, stand tall and live wide open. No apology, no permission slip required.